Hey, what's going on, Saints? Look, today we're talking about how to die to self. But before we get into it, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And here we go. So, how do you die to yourself? This is a prevalent theme in the New Testament a lot. Jesus talks about this. He says it in Luke 9:23-24. He says, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, die to self, and take up their cross and follow me." 1 Corinthians 15:31, Paul says, "You must die to self daily to be delivered from sin's power." So what does it mean to die to self? You know, for the longest, I always thought it was like, okay, I got to stop doing this sin. I got to stop doing this sin. I got to stop doing this sin, right? And that would work well for a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months, heck, even a couple of years. And then life happens. And then I find myself back into that pattern of sin. So I'm like, okay, so what wasn't working? So I realized it's because I was trying to do it off of my own strength. I was like, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop this. It was always I, right? And so I realized, like, okay, so how do you let something die? And I thought about a plant. A plant. How does a plant die? A plant dies because you don't feed it, right? You just don't feed it. You don't water it, right? And that's the same thing with our fleshly, worldly desires. Like if we don't feed that part of our life, it's naturally gonna die. It's gonna just fall away naturally. You're not going to have to do anything. It just, feed something else in your life. Feed your spiritual life. Feed, you know, things that are beneficial for you. The scripture says, walk in the ways of the spirit and you will not fulfill the lust of the flesh. So feed your spiritual life, starve your fleshly life. This is why fasting is important. This is why consistent prayer is important, because when you do those things, look, it's just going to naturally take those desires away from your flesh because you're not feeding it, you're feeding your spirit instead. It says the spirit and the flesh are at war with each other all the times, right? So you want to feed the one that you want to win the war. And when you feed the spirit, the flesh is going to just naturally die because it's not getting fed. And so, yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope it blessed you. Hope it gave you some new understanding on that, gave you some wisdom. And I hope it encouraged you to know that, we can't do this on our own. We can't stop XYZ sin, on our own. We just got to let it die out. We got to feed our spirit. And when we do that, we're not going to be led to fulfill the lust of our flesh. So thanks, guys, for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it encouraged you. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.